week since I came online. Um, was a bit under the weather this past week. So I do have to say that kind of like getting out of my hermit mode, because, again, the most I talk during an entire week is when I talk to you guys. Otherwise, I talk to my dog a little bit. We don't have very long conversations about life, philosophical, notions and whatnot. Hey, Alan, what's going on? It's happening. Yeah, it still feels weird, still feels tingly, like nerve and stuff. It just feels like somebody put like my bones and blood and flesh and nerves all inside a bag and just kind of jumble a little bit, and they're not exactly all lined up. I mean, I shouldn't complain. I'm grateful the surgery happened, the healing is happening, but I can't exactly say that I love the way that my foot feels. So, yeah. And this past week, I was a bit under the weather. So, really, even just like doing stuff this entire week has just felt like I'm just pushing like a car up a snowy hill. Um, so even this live stream, I'm like, okay, Peter, you didn't do it yesterday. Let's do it today. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I know once I get into the groove of things, I'll be fine. So thank you guys for joining me today. Let's go ahead and get into it. I hope everyone is well wherever you are. It is 10:30 here in Japan. So I believe it's 6:30 morning. Ken, what's going on? Thanks. Um, it's been really a long while since I grew out my beard. Hey, what's going on, Chris? It's been a long while since I grew out my beard. And so I never know exactly how much white has really come in. And there's a hell of a lot more salt than pepper these days. So it is what it is, right? It's weird. Like this whole patch goes black. But this whole thing, I guess that happens, all right. Anyway, moving on. This live stream is not about my beard. I mean, I've got no problem growing the beard. It's just the color is just anyway. Okay. So I was pretty much out of commission, like physically, mentally, not emotionally or anything. Like I'm fine. It's not like I'm, oh God, Alan, now I need to see yours. Next time you come by, don't shave until the next time you come so that I can see you. Maybe what is it? November at Club Cheetah for Band-Maid. Maybe we can see each other then. But this thing, I'm gonna have to shave it once I get back to work. So this is gonna only happen for about 3 more weeks. Why? No way. Come on. Come on, Ellen. You're retired. Who you got it first? All right. You gotta impress all the Japanese girls when you come over. Okay. So it was, even though I was pretty much out of commission. Hey, what's going on, Eric? Even December? Okay, got it. So even though Miley said no, she doesn't like your beard. The things you do for Miley. The things that the things that American men do for Miley. Okay, so even though I was personally a bit out of commission this past weekend, tons of bands were playing at these incredible shows. But the very first thing that I want to get into is Band-Maid, because whether you knew it or not, there were 4 full days of Band-Maid. Like, yeah, it was a pretty full. Let me get in touch with Saki. I'll be your wingman. Okay, let's get into this. I look like a wise Asian. Thanks. I haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah, nobody's called me wise in a long time, or said that I look wise. Okay, so let's get into this. Friday, August 8th, Band-Maid, Aichi, Nagoya, Diamond Hall. They had two shows back to back, August 8th, August 9th. Both of them at Diamond Hall. Hey, what's going on, Charles? Thanks. I'll say this since it's coming up. The general rule is that guys like the beard, they appreciate it. Every Asian girl, non-Asian girls, they don't mind it. They're cool with it. Some like it. Asian girls, not so much. My mom despises it. Looks at me and goes, ugh, I wish you hadn't been born. All right. Yes, I did lose weight. I'm probably like at 148, 149 right now, which it's been a minute since I've been that weight, that height. I do miss those nurses at the hospital. Not gonna lie. Okay. So August 8th, August 9th, Diamond Hall with the ladies. Gosh, now I want to see everybody with the beard. Everybody's always clean shaven when I see them, including myself. Okay, let's get into this before I forget. I have not been keeping up with details, to be honest. I've pretty much kind of been cocooned and zombified, vegified, whatever you want to call it, petrified, petrified. Started watching Dexter, pretty cool show. Just doing things that I normally couldn't, just because of time and being so busy. So, but okay, getting into the Band-Maid shows. Nagoya, you all right, Suho? Suho, do you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Yeah. Hey. Do you want to just sit there? Boop. No love from this kid. Okay. I don't have all the details of what went down. I've been trying a little bit to keep up with the shows that are happening, but as far as actually what happened at the shows and details, I just kind of like have zoned out. So, August 8th, Friday. This was Friday, a Friday night show. It was, let's see, 2 hours and 8 minutes. And again, the song list, it's not going to change too much, and it hasn't. And you know, that's pretty much how it's going to be. For the final round, only 3 shows, and they're like a month. Like one's in October, that's Namba Hatch. And then in November, you have Club Cheetah. And then a month after that, you have Tokyo Garden Theater. So Tokyo Garden Theater will definitely be much more of the extravaganza. I think they will add more to the songs. They do like to go all out. So that'll be different for sure. But as far as this round, I think for the most part, the songs was the same. Few minor changes. But here we go. Zen, Unleashed Alone, Domination, Forbidden Tale, Toi et Moi. There was a Migyu Shout with the Misa Akane solo. You had Shambles. You had you had the second medley, which they've been performing. Hey, what's going on? The second medley for the second round. And Konami shouted. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm looking at Hawk Metal's set list that he types up, which I'm really grateful for. Then you had Brightest Star with an instrumental intro. From Now On, Don't You Tell Me, Misa Konami Battle, Hate, Choose Me, What Is Justice You, No God, Tamaya, and Ready to Rock. No God definitely has some staying power. I mean, No God has been like in the last spurt, you know, the last few songs for a couple of years now. So they've really kind of like loved the energy, I think, that comes off from that. So yeah, that was the first night. And then the second night, I did have it. Okay, here we go. Second night, Zen, Unleashed Alone, Domination, Forbidden Tale, Toi et Moi, Shambles, medley with the Misa Shout, Brightest Star, From Now On, Don't You Tell Me, Hate, Choose Me, What is Justice, Play, so they threw play in there, No God, Tamaya, and Ready to Rock, 2 hours and 10 minutes. So no huge departures. I mean, pretty much the same for the most part, except for a couple switches. So the shout is when one of the members do Danny's shout for show them. Ah, okay. Danny's shout for show them. Oh, that is that the one? Did they record that? I haven't been to any shows since I'm recovering here at home, and again, these are also locations that I can't go to readily. So, that's interesting. That's pretty funny. That would actually be really, really funny. Um, I would imagine Konami would have been the funniest. So yeah, so that was Friday night and then Saturday night at Nagoya, and that wraps up round two for the maids. Yeah, it went pretty fast. I wasn't able to attend any of them, so I've just kind of been at home, just hearing it, seeing it happen like online, but that's pretty much it. She did one of the best. God, now I want to hear that. Now I really want to hear that. Okay. Okay, next up. So this is just Band-Maid right now. So August 8th, Friday, was their first show at Nagoya. August 9th was their second show at Nagoya. And then August 10th, which is 8-10, which is also Hachi and Ju, but 10 can also be pronounced as To. So you have Hachi, which you could also just shorten it to Ha, and then To, Hatto. So that's pigeon. I think most of you actually know that because Kobato means small pigeon. The H turns into a B when you add the Kobato, Hatto. So yesterday, yes, August 10th was Hatto no Hi. And Miku decided to do a streaming on her TikTok. And I kind of figured that people would want to watch that, even when they don't understand. I mean, that's where I was at. And I would say, I'm still at, not like I understand everything, but, most of it. So yeah, she did end up doing the live stream. It was only like about 35 minutes. Even though I was on time, for some reason I couldn't get it to start. I don't know what it was. So I missed the first couple of minutes, but I recorded it. It is online on our channel. I posted it yesterday. So if you guys want to check that out, if you haven't yet, please feel free to. She covers a lot of different stuff. And let's see. So she went over how they had finished up the second round. They will be getting into the final round, which is, again, only 3 shows. So, it's not really too big a thing. But they're also doing a couple of shows. Actually, a few. Let's see here. Okay. Today. So this Saturday is Summer Sonic 25 in Tokyo. Oh no, she's talking. Sorry. Okay, in Tokyo. Okay, so Summer Sonic in Tokyo. And then the week after, the 23rd, on Saturday, they will be performing in Thailand for the first time. Miku did mention in the stream that they had been there. Wait, is that right? I may have misunderstood because I watched it only once and I was in kind of a stupor. But I do believe she said that either they were there in Thailand briefly for Kate, the Netflix movie where they appeared, or no, I think that's what she said. So they were there, but they didn't actually perform. This is their first performance. It'll be in Bangkok. So that's happening the following week. So 2 Summer Sonics, August 16th, this coming Saturday, and then the following Saturday will be Summer Sonic Bangkok. So that's what's going on. And then in October, you have Live Azuma 2025. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I don't think we need to get into that right now. So that's what's happening. 2 Summer Sonics, and then they do have a live Azuma show, and then the final round, October 24th in Namba Hatch. Oh, they made a mistake. They said Kanagawa, Osaka, Namba Hatch. Very strange. Osaka, Namba Hatch, November 1st, Kanagawa Club Cheetah, which I've been to twice now, so I'm slowly getting more familiar with that place. And then December 7th, Tokyo Garden Theater, where I'm sure for the most part there's going to be quite a few foreigners who are coming. That's generally how it is. That's how it was the first time they performed there. I think that was the most foreigners I had seen, when they first performed there. Was that a January show? Gosh, I can't even remember the dates now. It's just been like, just so many shows in my head. But yeah, so that's what happened yesterday with Miku's Pigeon Day live stream. She also mentioned, the EP. So it will have the 3 singles. Of course you'll be there, Alan, with a full beard, with a sexy full beard. Please. Sorry, lost track. Okay. Yeah, it was January, right? Okay. I was gonna say. All right. And then the EP that's coming up, not too many details, but the 3 singles for the animes. So Zen, Ready to Rock, and then What is Justice. Those 3 will be on the EP along with other songs. I didn't hear numbers on that, so otherwise I don't know. No mention of date, so I don't know. It is already August. You would think they would have mentioned it if they were gonna bust it out during summer, because summer ends like pretty soon. So it looks like it's gonna be pushed back. How far? I don't know. This year, okay, yeah. So let's see. But they do have time, in between their shows from now until December. So I'm sure they're gonna work hard, and I'll be curious to see how the rest of their songs sound outside of What is Justice, Ready to Rock, and Zen, which are all, pretty up-tempo songs. I'm curious, which of those 3 are your favorite? I know we've had a lot. We've had a lot of anime songs. I'm curious though, out of the 3 that were just mentioned, Zen, Ready to Rock, and What is Justice, which one's your favorite? Ooh, I did like Zen quite a bit, more than Ready to Rock. What is Justice? I really liked the riff. No, I'm gonna have to go with Zen. Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Zen. I'm gonna go Zen, What is Justice, and then Ready to Rock. Even though Ready to Rock has done really well, and both Togen Anki and Rocky's Lady's Modesty are both available on Netflix now, at least in Japan. I'm not sure if it's available elsewhere. But yeah, if only Band-Maid music could be featured in an anime or an animation as popular as you guys have. I'm sure you have seen this, right? What is it? K-pop Hunters or something? What's it called? Demon Hunters. K-pop Demon Hunters. That thing has blown up quite a bit, I have to say. And I just typed it up right now. It has a 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb and a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's impressive. So very happy for the Korean American community. Very happy that K-pop is still riding the waves at the full crest, and they are soaring, really. I mean, there is no other music that is bigger than K-pop right now. The biggest bands, you have Twice, you have Blackpink, you have BTS, and other stuff that I don't know, I'm not really into, but good for them. But it'd be nice, right? If Band-Maid could really just find an anime that just, because as great as the songs are, like the story, something has to connect, right? Something has to connect. Hmm. Maybe I'll watch it. I think I watched like I did listen to the songs. Golden is a really catchy song. Um, yeah. I don't know what else. Okay, let's see now. And then today, so as I mentioned, I was under the weather. My cough is back. It was gone for a while, which is unfortunate. I mean, not that it was gone for a while, that it's back. And I was just kind of aching, and I wasn't really sure why. Um, but age, even though some of you guys out there are older than me, um, I don't know. Physically, I probably feel like I'm like twice my age. So basically, my sleep was really off. Yeah, yeah. Kimetsu no Yaiba. I really did want to go see that. Do want to go see that at the theater, along with Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. Um, so I had terrible sleep, exhausted. Um, Rock as Late as Modesty is popular with a lot of the lady musicians here in Japan, which is really cool because you see them posting it, you see the challenges that were put up that Konami commented on. I did put up quite a few on our stories. You guys can check that out too. But basically, I was up. My dog walker comes at 7 a.m. so that they can get Suho and bring him back. But I couldn't fall back asleep until around 10 o'clock, and I figured I'd probably get up around just 12. I got up at 3. Um, so I slept a good solid 5 hours in the afternoon. So I did end up missing the initial streaming time for Medium in Summer, which is the 4th day of Band-Maid. So it was the 2 shows in Nagoya, 8, 9, and then yesterday was Pigeon Day, Miku's like little TikTok stream, and then today was the Medium in Summer. So I did attend that last year. I remember the day because I hated the weather. It was really muggy and just ugh. It was so gross. I hated it. It was raining. Um, Shibuya is a terrible place to stand in line, especially at a bigger venue, just because there's no room for that, people to stand outside. So it's just really gross. But it was a great show, and I think it really, if you like mid tempo to up tempo, not I wouldn't say quite fast. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was like a dream come true. So let me just go over the set list. Um, and these are songs that nowadays it's really tough to hear. It's really, really tough to hear some of these songs. Um, I don't want to say if ever again, because it does pop up every now and then. So, okay, you had Awkward, Start Over, my favorite, SJ's favorite. Awkward, Start Over, At the Drop of a Hat, About Us, YOLO. Ugh, I love YOLO all the time. Wonderland, amazing. Azura was great. Matchless Gum, Anemone, Page, Big Dad, Memorable, Catharsis, Endless Story, Mirage, Daydreaming, Bestie, Choose Me, not quite medium, but they did choose that. Chemical Reaction, which was great to hear. I mean, just the groove that Chemical Reaction has is just, I just get into that. Bubble, which is fantastic to hear in a long while. Manners, and then they closed out with Show Them, which is really cool because they had actually Danny on screen behind them. I believe that was the show, and this huge screen, and they only had the parts of Danny when they were singing, so that was pretty neat, even though she wasn't there. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fantastic set list, and it's one of those incredibly rare, like, I mean, Diamond in the Rough, Aladdin rare. Oh, it's not. Probably because of this, because of the screen that was used, and mm, yeah, because of warnings. That's a shame. That was fun. That was really fun. So did it have every other song? Because yeah, I really enjoyed that show. That was a great show to be at. And for me, someone like me, I think the nostalgia of it all, like these are songs that I kind of like, I don't want to say I grew up with, it's like when I was a kid, but that I grew up with in Japan. So, the times that I remember where I was at, what was happening, like that. Some good stuff. So yeah, 4 days of Band-Maid. It was definitely a feast. It was definitely a feast. So those of you who watched The Medium in summer, well, they did release it once last year too, if I'm not mistaken. But what did you guys think about that? Did you enjoy it? Is it your cup of tea? Is it your wheelhouse? Or do you guys prefer like the more upbeat songs? Like for me, I mean, I love both, but yeah, it's a great set list. So I'm just looking at it over that screen right there. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so that was Band-Maid. That was Band-Maid, and people definitely got a lot, especially if you're here in Japan, because you went to both shows, which a lot of people did. Um, then people got to see Miku talking, and she was replying to people too and answering, which people always love, like who doesn't, right? And then today, like getting a chance to see the medium in summer or seeing it again. Oh, that's right. That's when it was. Good memory, Eric. Gosh, I would not have remembered that. But mentioning it, I go, oh yeah, that's right. That they did do that. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay. So that is Band-Maid. Oh, kind of randomly, what I think is really funny, this happens both in the States and in Japan, where, and this happens a lot too, but this happens a lot with Band-Maid, a band like Band-Maid, where fans will travel around to wherever they go. And again, um, the same goes for in the States when they're traveling, or, in Europe, wherever. Um, but I always find it funny where they're like, "Thank you, Osaka. Thank you, Tokyo. Thank you, Okayama." And it's like a third of the people are the same people that have been traveling to watch all of them. So they're like, and and I've done that too, where I've been to different shows with them, and just shouting out, and it's like, "I'm not from Hiroshima. I'm not from Fukuoka, but hey." So anyway, I just found that really amusing. Yeah. Okay. So that is Band-Maid. Great time for everyone who was a part of all of that stuff. Or if you can only take part in some of it, it's still great. Now, I do want to get into a few other shows that did happen this past weekend. There was one in particular that grabbed my attention months ago. And this is, again, I know some people will be like, oh, it's not Band-Maid. Bye. That's fine. But as always, it's my encouragement that if you guys do hang out, hear a little bit more about some other bands, you will discover that there's some amazing music. There's some amazing music from a lot of these other smaller bands that you may not know about or you've heard about, you've not really looked into. So I do want to introduce a little bit of them to you, okay? All right. So Saturday, along with Band-Maid, there was a show that like basically a festival called Zuma Zuma Zuma. Zuma Zuma Zuma. I mentioned this last week. I'll mention it really quickly again. I'm sure it was an awesome time. Um, my eyesight is going bad, so I can't read that. Is it sugoi bando na okay, I can't read it. Okay, so let's read the other ones. Okay, The Frail, Kakumi Medoik, My Little Devil, Undying Words, Ice Hagase Eyeshadow, Dim Rays, Dizzy Metal, Lumerize, Kilt Meltland, Palineo. Like this is like it's like a I don't know, it especially for a fan who follows all these bands, like it's legit like just a wet dream. Like you're just bathing yourself in just like all this awesome music and performances. Um I mean, I can vouch for like So I've seen 9 out of the 11 performers that were mentioned, but it's just insane. So I'm sure it was an awesome time. Another one of those really sad days where I'm like, ugh, I missed it. And then I see these photos going up of the bands that I've taken photos for, and I'm like, I should have been the one taking those photos. And then I'm like becoming like, competitive. Oh, my photos would have been better than their photos. But I'm just being a little shit. So that was on Saturday. Zuma Zuma Zuma, amazing show, Clepsida. Another cool show that would have been great to attend, but it was in Hamamatsu, which is a bit of ways from Tokyo. But it was part of the Paradox tour. Paradox is a power metal band, if you guys don't know. A band called Queen, not Freddie Mercury, or Adam Lambert these days. Queen, Hades, Persons. Hades will always be in my heart. That's kind of how it is. So that would have been a great show to have attended as well. But regardless, I wouldn't have probably gone even if my foot was okay just because of the distance. Yeah. So that was on the 9th. And then the 10th gets a little bit crazy. So of course, there are other shows. Don't get me wrong. Like there are always tons of other shows that are happening out there. These are just the ones that I would be interested in with bands that I've seen, whether in person or their music and, just my experience of the performances. So Dim Rays was sponsoring a show yesterday. This is at Antinoch. They're definitely close with the management, as well as like Gangire. I would say Antinoch is much more metalcore centric than otherwise when you look at the bands that are playing there. But a band called Nimbus, I don't know. Gangire was there. Subliminals, and I'm not sure which person in Subliminals it was, but they did compose the latest song from Dim Rays that was released. And I can't off the top of my head remember the name of the song. Chris, you probably do. Really great ballad, really powerful, really displays Akane's vocals. So they composed the song, and then Akane did write the lyrics for that. So it was Subliminals and then Dim Rays. So this was also part of Naho, the bassist. Her birthday's coming up on the 18th. So I'm sure it was a great show. Dim Rays Anxiety, there you go. Dim Rays has really great taste when it comes to let's see, great taste. They know what they like. They know what they like. I can't say that it's always particularly in my wheelhouse. It's not always because they do like a little bit more poppy stuff, especially with like sort of the more boy bandish bands. But yeah, Dim Ray, Subliminals, Gangire, Nimbus. So that was a morning to afternoon show. That day you also had Rock Avengers, Destroy Blaze. This is with Dizzy Reverse. So it's really interesting because the day before they performed as Dizzy Metal, and then yesterday they performed as Dizzy Reverse. So this is with Uyu Metal, My Metal, I think Misa Metal, and I forgot the other. There's a lot of metals. I'm not good at the elemental chart, so I'm not sure exactly how many metals there are. Anyhow, so Disney Reverse. So they did release a single, and I believe another one too. I haven't been following as well these days, but I'm very curious how different the performance is, because Disney Metal is more. It's basically a tribute band to Baby Metal. So Dizzy Reverse, I mean, what songs are they performing outside of the couple of songs they've released? Um, what's the choreography like, the music? I'm very curious. So they performed at Rock Avengers. Then you had Kamen Joshi, Doll Parts, Arc Royal, Emanon, um, 80-second Life Sentence, Near. I always forget Near. Nia. Yeah, in Japanese you would say Nia, Nia, like Mia, Nia. And then My Little Devil performed again. So that's also a great show that I would have loved to have been at. Um, yeah, a really cool show. I haven't seen 80-second Life Sentence, but I'll check them out. Kamen Joshi. I guess I have to look into them. I don't know if I will like them or not. So they performed. Then you also had Little Lilith. They had their one man at Shibuya Rex. Shibuya Rex is legit one of my favorite venues in terms of photography. But it is a really cool place because the stage is high. And I mean, there's different experiences. As a fan, I guess if you're up in front, it's great, or it's not great because they're way up high, and it's nicer if you're at a place like Antinoch or Crescendo where they're like more or less floor level with you nearly, so that you can get really close up with them. But especially if you're further back, just but the lighting is great, the stage is high. It's a nice place, Shibuya Rex, which is also the place that Hades will be performing their second one man on September 20th. September 20th. Oh, yeah. I mean, if Kano's playing, then for sure. So Little Lilith performed their one man. And this is really interesting. So I looked at their set list, and they had 13 songs. Um, so I guess the rubric, the standard, really is always Band-Maid in terms of filling out a show to its fullest. Um, they really pack it to the gills, and I think Band-Maid is really, I mean, just because the basis, the whole philosophy behind Band-Maid is Ojo-sama, Meishu-sama, Goshujin-sama. As maids, they're there to serve. And I think with that mentality, and with Miku being Miku, and just the whole point is to really welcome people and to serve them to the best of their ability, and to really just sort of lavish, which is what Band-Maid's really good at. Um, so 13 shows versus, 13 songs versus, it used to be 20 songs. They threw in the medley these days. I guess partially because they did want to have more nostalgic songs for people to hear, at least some. But also maybe because as they do get older, because the maids are getting older, they can't push quite as hard as they used to. I think that could be happening. I don't know. I'm not gonna say like, oh, they're getting old, but we all are. So I think that could be another reason. But anyhow, so that would have been a really cool show to have attended as well. Um, I was fortunate this past year to see Little Lilith, back to back to back, 3 shows in a row, 2 weeks in a row. So it was really amazing that I had that opportunity. And it was really cool actually, because on Lily, the singer, her birthday, she posted a picture that I had taken a while at one of those shows. And I was like, oh, of all the photos to use, she used mine. That's really great. Um, So it does mean that she remembers me and she does like my photos. So I'm here, or I will be soon enough. Please don't forget me. But that would have been a cool show to have attended. And then also, this was at 2-hour shows are amazing. I'm not going to complain. You had Unveil Rays, who I don't know particularly, but they did have Brideer as a special guest. And let's see, how many songs was it? 8 songs. 8 songs. So that would have been great to have seen as well. I mean, fantastic shows because they're fantastic bands. And I was just sleeping and in pain. So yeah, those are the shows that stood out to me in particular this past weekend. You know, again, Band-Maid was really busy from Friday to today. And then all these other shows with all these amazing bands. It's great, you know, again, like my favorites are just out there like doing their thing, and that's awesome to see. It is different just kind of being at home, and I guess this is how it is, I guess, if you live overseas and you're not here in Japan and you don't have the opportunity to actually, you know, see these shows. Ah, cool, 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 cool. That's awesome. That's really cool to hear. Yeah, I know you got a crush on her. She's a cutie. She's very sweet. She's amazingly talented, so. Okay, let's have a crush reveal, guys. Everybody reveal who you have a crush on. Well, I know Eric's, at least one of them. I know Alan's, at least 2 of them. I know Chris's, probably at least 10 of them. Yeah, no, no shit, Sherlock. uh, yeah. So, yeah, gosh, great shows, great bands. I'm curious to see how it'll be when I go back. I still have, Kiyoshi, I didn't know that. Okay, cool, cool. Um, yeah, I'm curious to see how it'll go back. I have 3 more weeks to kind of recover. But even then, I don't know. Yeah, it's their old guitarist, Misaki, which is really, really cool. That's so awesome to see. I'm not sure which shows I can attend. Peter, oh, Richard, stop. I do remember, let's see, who did Richard say was hot? There's one in particular that I remember. I don't know if I should reveal. Ah. Yes. But I think some of you know mine currently. But she's a wonderful composer and guitarist. Yeah, yeah. All you Americans loving this beard. You're the only ones. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. When are you back again, Richard? And how's prep going for the One Sky? Um, yeah, what was it? October 12th and 13th, right? There you go, Mike. Yeah, New York. But if they can't play and don't make good tunes, I'm out. Oh yeah, of course. That's understandable. Totally understandable. Let us see. Yeah. Were there any TG? Oh, that's the next time? Okay, it's pretty late. Got it. But yeah, were there any other shows that you guys like were aware of this past weekend that I missed that you would have loved to have attended? Oh, 10/10 and 10/13. Got it. Okay. So October 10th, October 13th, One Sky, with Nemophila, Alaka, and Risky Melody. Go get your tickets. Okay, no problem, man. Thanks for typing in. Appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah. May from Baby Metal. Okay, hold on. There is a set list for Dizzy Reverse, which is the alter ego of Dizzy Metal. And it does seem like they did perform a couple of Baby Metal songs, but they also did some new stuff. It's not credited to anybody else, so that's interesting. I'm really curious how that sounds. Yeah, some really good engaging stuff. As far as next week, I didn't look too much into it. Yeah, just I'm tired. You liked Hazuki more. Oh, you are in the minority. You are in the minority. The only time that I saw Nemophila at Club Cheetah last year when they performed along with Hades when they were there, I was most impressed musically with Tamu. Her drumming out of everyone, I was like, okay, she's pretty cool. She's pretty special. Not to say the other girls weren't. Don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're all amazing musicians, and definitely Hazuki like does some great stuff. So does Haraguchi. Um, yeah. I saw that, but yeah, I'll go see them again. Hmm. Yeah, I know Haraguchi brings like that energy, that fun. Um, and then Tom was just super talented. Her drumming, like that really stood out to me. That definitely really stood out to me. So, uh, my, yeah, I've never been able to fully embrace, I think, Mayu's vocals. Like, there are particular tones that work for me, and there are tones that don't work for me. And I think with Mayu's tone, um, and her timbre, it's a bit too thin for me. It's a bit too thin, a bit too light. Um, Even though she's an incredible vocalist, just that color isn't quite. Yes, because Alan would surely get her if not for anyone else getting in the way. Well, it's not like Saki is even in Nemophila now, right? So that's a whole separate thing. Um, but yeah, no, Saki is something special. Is something special. Oh, I did. I saw a thumbnail of that. I saw a thumbnail of that, but I didn't actually get to see it. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, in terms of like just the tone and quality, like there's a color to people's voices, right? There's a certain timbre, like there's a certain like richness to it. Um, I don't think that Psyche is like the greatest vocalist. I don't. I think she's still working on it. I do think that she still has to put in a certain effort that other vocalists don't have to. But I love Psyche's voice. Like the way she's just the color and the timbre of her voice. Like it just it melts me, you know. It just it uh I love it so much. Um out of All of the vocalists that I've hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, that's like a one in a trillion. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other vocalists. Because don't get me wrong, like I love like Regan when she sings. Um, it's beautiful stuff, right? Yeah, I'll check that out. But that's cool. I mean, yeah. I'm sure it's pretty kind of amazing for a lot of Japanese musicians. Oh yeah, Nagi is, she's incredible. I don't think she grew up with a metal background, which is why it's so different. Like there's a sweetness and a fullness to it, and there's a delivery to it that isn't quite typical. Like it's not harsh. Yeah, she's got a gorgeous voice. Uyu, it's so funny when Nagi first came out, when Nagi first came out, I was like, but Uyu's my girl. But the more I listen to the songs from Hagane, I feel like Nagi is just above for me. I do still love Uyu's voice, but there's something very like nuanced and delicate about Nagi's vocals. Um, like she does like gorgeous, gorgeous vocal work. Gorgeous, gorgeous vocal work. Um, Sally, that's cool. Oh yeah, Sally, news for Sally. She does have a couple of her songs. It'll be the opening opening and the closing for an anime, which is really awesome. Again, I don't know how popular the anime will be, but it's a start. The anime is called Mahjong Saikyosen. Um, and it will premiere when? Oh, 8/16, this coming Saturday. Yeah, that'll be really awesome. So, happy for Sally. Did I mention that Sally wrote to me? Um, she commented when I went to the hospital, and it was just I was really touched because Sally doesn't really do that unless you're like in that group of like musicians. So for her to have done that, I was really touched. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, yeah, gosh, I really would love to do like a individual interview with Sally. I mean, I know that I already did like the translation with Ryan's interview, but it'd be nice to do one just with me and her, like in person, just kind of sitting down and stuff. But let me see really quickly here if I can find it again. Very simple. She wrote, Peter, I have been reading your recent post. Thank you for your message at this very difficult time. Please take care of yourself. So, yeah, that was just nice. That was nice to see. Yeah. The cool thing with Sally is that she's hungry. I think one of my favorite things about musicians is when I see their hunger. Um, when they're hungry and they're willing to like ask for like help or support, it it sounds really weird. It turns me on, not in that kind of way, but it like activates like this desire, like, okay, if you ask me for help, then I will definitely give you help in whatever way I can. That's how it was for Hades. With doll parts, Arisa, she's so just like, hey, help me. I'm like, okay. um, yeah, but Sally, I remember a little bit after we had an interview with Mellows, I did an interview with them. We're talking, hey, what's going on, Peter? We're talking because she was at Wildside, and I was telling her about, like, what I want to do and what I am doing, and she was just saying, "Oh man, like, yeah, I'm doing these things." She's like, "Yeah, yoroshiku onegai shimasu," which is kind of like, oh, if you would, like, if you can help or if you would support, and it's a Japanese way. So there's no clear cut like definition for it, but yoroshiku onegai shimasu is like doing favors or thank you, like if you would kindly please type of thing. But yeah. So yeah, I'm just happy to see these bands growing. And I think some people have noticed, like this year, more of these bands are kind of coming together and crossing over, and I think doing some really incredible stuff and putting on incredible shows. Like the Undying Words show earlier this year that I was at, like, like that just blew me away. Like, um, yeah, Mello's Undying Words, Gangire, Brideer, like, jeez, it's just wild. Um, just wild. It just blows my mind. Yeah. So, anyway, guys, it is just about 11:30 here. If anybody has any particular questions, um, yeah, Aldius, the most frustrating thing for me about Aldius is that they are performing next Wednesday. And someone, I got tickets for them for that show, offered to give me their other ticket to attend. Um, but it's at Toyusu Pit, which is a bit of a distance. And I do have a platform shoe. And I suppose I could ask if I could sit down or something, or I don't know. But I don't want to risk my foot's recovery, even though I had the chance to see Aldius perform their last show ever as Aldius. Like, God. Yeah. Thanks, man. I got some chicken pho today. Aldius? No, I wouldn't say critical mass. I mean, their big time was like, because I came here in 2018. They were pretty big then, but yeah, they weren't doing a lot of shows. Yeah, but more and more recently, like they just weren't doing that many shows, and it just kind of, you could see it happening. One last thing I do want to mention is that the show that's happening in October, for anybody who is coming, this is at Thunder Snake Atsugi. So the bands have been finalized. So Peter, can I mention? Is that okay? So I did mention before that there was going to be Whiskey Dust, Jekoro Nove, Moth and Lilac, Sylvie, and then the last band that has been finalized, there'll be 5 total, is Fill It Up, which is an incredible live band. And I would say the 3 bands that match best sonically Whiskey Dust, I think, would be better known if they did put on more shows and if they did get around more to different venues. Um, but um, yeah, just with the way that they're managed, it's a bit tight, I would say. So it kind of keeps them very local. So even though they have gotten a little bit bigger because of the shorts and videos they've been posting on YouTube, um, they need new music. I mean, in the end, music is about music, right? In the end, music is about music. So that's something that you can't forget. And you do really need to um, continually, constantly create great music, but also to get that music out there. And as a band in Japan, you need to perform and you need to perform your ass off and just have as many people see you as possible. If that's not happening, then you're not going to grow. So, yeah. But yeah, you do have very hard rock classic sounds with Fill It Up, Whiskey Dust Jack Renove. Then you have Sylvie, which is a bit more goth. Um, and then Moth and Lilac. I guess Sylvie and Moth and Lilac are a bit more closer. So you have like Fill It Up, Whiskey Dust Jack Renove. And then on the other side, you have Sylvie and Moth and Lilac. Although Moth and Lilac comes a bit more harsh in terms of like vocals, their sound. It's a bit more industrial at times. But yeah, I would say it's some good stuff. So definitely worth checking out that show if you guys are here. It is happening at Thundersnake Atsugi. As details come, I will let you know. So please keep your calendars open October 19th. If you are not going to be attending the One Sky and staying in the States and you are coming over during that time, okay? So otherwise, yeah, that is that for today. Yeah, they are busy with their own stuff too. But, you know, once a band gets going, you start to prioritize and kind of shift things around as you need to. But, you know, the money has to come in. You got to survive. In Korean, you have to say 먹고 살아야 돼, which means that you have to eat and survive. So my mom always says, 너 먹고 살고 있니? Like, are you eating and surviving? Which is kind of, are you eating and living? Which is kind of, I think, a typical greeting, you know, from a war-torn country, having grown up in that kind of background. So, yeah, I think, you know, in the end, you have to live and survive, eat, live. And if the finances come in, it's possible. Streaming. Okay, great. Awesome. So we'll talk about that when I'm kind of more in the right headspace. Okay, guys. So that was a recap of Band-Maid's like 4-day extravaganza, okay, sorry, that was bad. Band-Maid, and then you have other great shows, and there's definitely more other great shows happening, but I didn't really follow up on that. But I should be here again next week, probably Sunday, unless Monday does work for you guys. Yeah, let me know. But I think that is that for today. Tomorrow I am getting the We Rock magazine. No problem at all, Charles. Thank you so much for the constant support. Just to recap, for those of you who did not actually order your We Rock magazine, let's see here. Yeah, it's coming in tomorrow. Hopefully no rain. But again, Saki, Alan, Saki is featured. Sakura, Hagane, Ayumi Moe, right here. Kaori Michael from Paradox, I mentioned. Hazuki, all you Hazuki lovers. Lisa X. Okay, cool. Hana and Tomozo, Gacharik, Gacha. Rie, aka Suzaku. Ayari and Ryoto, Palaneo. Sally, Kuya, Hades. Halka from Asterism. And then Gina from Mellows, ASMR, Frail. Yeah. You know what's funny? Hold on one second. Let me just check real quickly here. Yeah, so Asterism ended up putting up a short of their song called Gunfire, but it's really funny. Their short has a title, Asterism, Gunfire in Los Angeles. You know, when you hear gunfire in Los Angeles, it usually has a different meaning, not the song. So I just found that amusing. Yes, Ryoto, I saw a little bit of the video that they put up. Her English is very, very good, but not surprising. I do think she is educated, and I've mentioned this before, but Ryoto reminds me of like a Kanami 2.0. I think Ryoto has a little bit more classical music in her than Kanami does. Um, but she seems like a very pampered, well-educated girl. Um, so yeah, her speaking English doesn't surprise me. Um, she's smart. Yeah, she's super, super smart, super talented. Um, really great at compositions. So, but I did only see a little bit of it. Am I going to Osaka or Kawasaki? I did get tickets for Kawasaki and for Tokyo Garden Theater, but Vladimir needed tickets because something happened, I think, with credit cards. So I did end up giving my tickets to him. I personally still need a Club Cheetah and wait, one of them he's going to, one of them he's not. Let me get back to you on that. But yeah, I do plan to attend both Kawasaki and Tokyo Garden Theater. So yes. Okay. All right, folks. I think I am going to rest up a little bit. But yeah, Vladimir, shoot. I'm gonna have to get back to you. He messaged me, this was a while ago, so I forget which show it was that he chose to attend and which one he didn't. So yeah. Do clubs sell their own merch? Like t-shirts, some places do. I've seen it. Rarely, but yeah, some places do. Like a t-shirt or a pin or something, I've seen that. But yeah. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for this time here. Again, this is the most I will be talking all week. The rest of the days, I will just be lying on my fat ass. Actually, it's skinnier now. On my skinnier fat ass, just to rest my foot and to enjoy, I don't know, whatever I can. So thank you guys for the constant support. Thank you guys for watching and being with me here on the live stream. Thank you. I will heal up as much as I can. Eric, Mr. Resident Surgeon, your foot being tingly is still okay, right? Having a tingly foot is still okay in this kind of process of healing. Yes? Before I go and say bye, did you leave Eric? Dr. Ifune? Dr. Hifune? Okay. We'll talk later. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I will catch you guys again. This has been Peter from MNN. Bye. Okay, cool. Thank you. Now I can sleep in peace. Bye, guys.